In church. Are you excited to be in church this evening? Amen. It's great to be in God's presence. Can I just take a moment just before we start, and maybe we can just take a moment just to honor Pastor Dave. Have you ever, I thought about this other day. Pastor Dave has been at this church longer than I've been alive. Can we, and not many pastors stay that long, so can we take a moment, just honor Pastor Dave? That would be great. Thank you, Pastor Dave. Pastor Dave, Auntie Bev. Tonight, the title of my message is Get in the Wheelbarrow. Get in the Wheelbarrow. When I was in Bible school, we did this team building camp. And we went to a campsite called Dibos. Dibos. Now, you might be thinking it's like one of these nice private game reserves where they take you on a safari. And you know, you're in this air-conditioned conference room where they bring you cappuccinos and they serve you delicious meals. No. This was Dibos. And it looked like this, like there was no electricity, there was no flush toilets, and each team had to make their own food without any electricity while it rained the whole time we were there. So I don't know about you, have you ever tried to make fire when it's raining? Like at least we had some kind of shelter thing, but it was pretty challenging. And it's raining and the wood is wet and we're making fire and there's team building activities, and it was actually pretty nice. I actually enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. And but I remember there was this one time we'd had to do this one challenge where we had to go abseiling. You know, abseiling, when you hold on, they put this harness in you, and it feels like it's giving you a wedgie, and it's really uncomfortable. But you pull it up, and at that time, I really thought to myself, I was like an outdoor person. Because my sister, she was in an outdoor ministry similar, doing camps and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's me. I like the outdoors. You know, I'm an outdoors type of person. I'm from Kuruman. You know, I can do this, you know. And so I get in this harness, and I know about the equipment. You know, this rope, it can hold like 200, 300 kgs, you know, it's special climbing rope. And then there's like this figure 8 thing, and that can hold like, I don't know how much, but it's really strong. And so I believe in this equipment. It's top quality equipment. And I knew so much about it, and I believed in it. But can I tell you, when I got, and they like let you go down until you like 90 degrees. And the only thing between you and like 20 meters down, very hard, rocky ground, is this equipment. And then I'm thinking to myself, I know about how much this can hold. I know about what these things, how strong they are. But right now, I'm not sure if I can trust them. Because right now, this is the only thing between me and certain death. And that is pretty far. And I don't want to go down like this. And I remember the guy said to me, it was terrible. You know, I'm busy holding on. And I'm like, can I go? And he's like, wait a moment, just before you go. If you had to die today, I was just like, let's not talk about this right now. I believe in Jesus, but I'm still young. I still want to have a life. I'm only 19. Come on, I don't want to die today. He's like, if you had to die today. I'm like, no. But there's a difference between believing in something and trusting something. There's a difference between we believe in God and we believe that God is the Son of God. We believe He died on the cross. We believe in God. We believe in Jesus. But there's a difference between trusting Jesus. Because you see, many people in church, they believe in God. They believe all the right things. But when it comes to trusting God, it's a little more difficult. This can clearly be illustrated by a French tightrope walker. His name was Charles Blondin, and he was famous for doing tightropes all over the world. But he did one specifically, most famous for the one he did in Niagara Falls. Now, Niagara Falls in the States, it looks something like this. That's about 330 meters across, and it's about 60 meters high. And so he was coming to the USA. He was from France. And he was coming. He was gonna do this tightrope across there. And everyone was all excited. It was in the 1950s. And so if it was today, we'd probably be like, yeah, I'll check that out on YouTube later. Like, I'm not going out there. But in those days, I don't think they had much better to do. And so they were like, hey, we're going to go out. And so 25,000 people went to go watch him tight walk across this famous waterfall. And he never had any equipment, no harnesses, no nets, nothing. And so they set up, everyone's around this waterfall, they're checking out this, everyone's tense, and he starts off, he has a stick, he looks like this, can you give me the next slide? He has this big stick, I don't know what the stick's supposed to do, I guess it's supposed to balance you, and he gets on, and everyone's nervous, everyone's holding their breath, and you can just imagine like him walking, he has this cool thing around his chest, I have no idea what that is, but it looks like he's from Gladiator, so that's cool, and he's walking, and you must think, because it's so far apart, when he gets to the middle, it like starts to go down like that, because you can't hold it so tense, and so he's going, and you can just imagine like he starts to lose his balance, and everyone's like, oh, is he gonna die? This is crazy, everyone's so tense, and he goes, and he gets to the end, and everyone's like, yeah, well done, so excited, and so he's like, no, that's not all. And he puts the stick down. Everyone's like, no, take the stick. The stick gives you balance. It's like your superpower. Take the stick. And he's like, no, I've got this, And he goes across with no stick. And everyone's like, oh my word, he's going to die. And they say even some people fainted. I'm like, oh my gosh, you already got into that show. But okay. But he goes across, everyone's nervous, and he makes it across, and everyone's cheering. And this guy was crazy. There's a story told that he went halfway. He took with him on his back like this little stove. And halfway, he stopped. He made a fire. He cooked an omelet. He ate it, and he continued. I'm like, I can't even cook an omelet like in my kitchen. Like, how do you do it on a rope? Like, that's just crazy. But there was one time and he put a bag of potatoes in a wheelbarrow. And he's like, okay, I'm going to take this across. And everyone's like, with a wheelbarrow? Are you crazy? Like, it's just a rope that's so going to make you fall. And he's like, no, I got this, And he takes this, and everyone's like, oh my word, he's going to fall. And he's balancing. He's taking this thing all the way across. And he makes it all the way across. And everyone cheers. And then this guy, he was such a showman. He says, do you believe that I could get across with the person inside? Maybe he was French, so maybe he'll be like, excuse me, do you think I could put someone inside here? And the people, they're so into this, they're like, yes, you could do it, go for it, yes. France sucks, USA number one. Yeah. There's always that one person in the crowd. I don't know who that person is. There's always that one person. And so he says, okay, who would want to volunteer to come inside? And everyone's like, wow, look at the time. Like, I really feel like omelets, so I think you made me feel like omelets. So I think we're going to go now. And so no one volunteered. Everyone was too scared, because there's a difference between believing he can get across, believing this guy has got it to make it across. There's a difference between believing and trusting him and getting in the wheelbarrow. There's a difference in your life with believing in God, believing that God has control of your life, believing in everything, and getting into the wheelbarrow with God. Here's the thing is, many people live their lives following Jesus, but they're just believing in him, but they're not trusting him with everything. They're not getting in the wheelbarrow. They're not saying, God, I give you everything. And we miss out on so much because we don't want to get in the wheelbarrow. And the reason why so many of us struggle with that is because we want to have control. We want to say, I'm in control. I'm not going to get in this wheelbarrow and give over to God. No, listen. I want to be in control. And if I get in this wheelbarrow and I trust God, that means I'm giving up control for my life. And the question I want to ask you tonight is this: what are the things, you can pop it on the screen, what are the things you are not trusting God with? What are the things you can give to God right now? What are the things in your life right now that you're saying, God, I will give you everything, but I will not give you this? What are the things that you're holding back? You're saying, God, you can take everything else. Maybe it's your time. Maybe you're saying, God, I will give you Sundays. I'll come to church. That's fine. But don't expect me to give you more time, because this is all I'm giving you. This is all you're going to get. Just be happy with this, okay? I'm not going to give up full control. Or maybe it's a relationship in your life that you're saying, hey, I know this is not the best for me. I know I should give this to God, but I'm just going to hold on to this. Maybe it's your finances and you're saying, I know I should surrender everything to God. I should give Him everything, but I'm just going to hold on because I'm not ready to let go of control. And the reason many of us struggle to let go of control is because we live in a guarantee society. If you notice, like if you buy everything, it comes with a guarantee. It kind of helps, right? You'll be like, yeah, I'm going to buy this TV. It comes with a 2-year guarantee, money back. So if anything goes wrong, I know it's guaranteed that I'm going to get my money back. Oh, we like to have like these diets. Those are awesome, right? Like 14 days, like 14 days, money back guarantee. You are going, this is going to work for you. We can guarantee you'll get your money back. And if you order today, you will also receive a free, no, I'm just kidding. Like that, they always do that. That's weird. But this is what we want to do with God. We want to say, God, I will get in the wheelbarrow. I will trust in you. But I want some kind of guarantee. I want to know what are the T's and C's here. I want to know if I get in the wheelbarrow with you, what is this going to look like? What is my life going to look like in 5 years? What can you guarantee? I want to know, what is it going to be like if I get in the wheelbarrow with you? What are you going to do with my life? I want some kind of guarantee that this is going to be a good decision for me. I don't just want to get inside. No. I want to know, what is this about? What am I going to have to do? What am I going to get out of this deal? But you know what? When we read through scriptures, when we read through the Bible, through the whole Bible, God always gave people instructions, get in the wheelbarrow. But He never said, this is what it's all going to look like. He never said, this is what your life is going to be like in 25 years. This is what you're going to get out of it. These are all the T's and C's. No. He just says, get in the wheelbarrow and trust in me. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7, there's this guy called Noah. This is what God says to Noah. It says, it was by faith that Noah built a large boat to save his family from the flood. He obeyed God. He trusted God, who warned him about things that had never happened before. Think about this for a moment. Here's Noah just going about his day, just living life. And God comes and says to him, Noah, I want you to build an ark. I want you to put a lot of animals in it because there's going to be a flood. Noah's like, a flood? What are you talking about? All these animals? Are you crazy? Like, that sounds like a ridiculous idea. Can we not find a mountain and we'll just build a really big house? Like, that would make more sense to me than trying to build this boat thing. Like, that's just stupid. And I mean, a flood? No one's even seen a flood. The whole history of our world, there's never been a flood. Why would there be a flood now? This makes no sense. And God says, no, I just want you to get in. Just trust me. Just get in the wheelbarrow. I know it doesn't make sense right now, but just get in the wheelbarrow. It's a crazy story. This has never happened before. But Noah said, I'm going to trust in you, God. I'm not just going to believe in you, but I'm going to trust in you. There's another story of Abraham. The next verse, I think it's verse 8, it says this. It was by faith that Abraham obeyed when God called him to leave home and go to another land that God would give him as his inheritance. He went without knowing where he was going. And so here's God, and God says to Abraham, Abraham, you're going to go. And Abraham's like, okay, God, I'm pretty comfortable right now where I'm at. But, I'm prepared. New season. That'll be okay. I could be okay with that. Can you just let me know where I'm going so I can just type it into the GPS coordinates? And maybe I can just Google, what is the temperature and what shopping malls there are, what's the internet speed, what's the crime rate, where am I going? Just give me some more details. How long am I going to be there? Am I going to get a job there? What's my job securities? And God just says, go. Abraham is like, what? You just want me to go? I don't even know where I'm going. I don't know what's happening. I don't know where I'm going to be. God says, go. He had no idea where he was even going. Imagine that conversation with his wife, Sarah. So, honey, so I believe God spoke to me. And he said we need to go to a new place. She's like, yes, where are we going? We're going to go to New York, Miami, Los Angeles. Where are we go? Yeah, I don't know. So let's just go. Let's go. You don't know where you're going? How can you lead me to somewhere where you don't even know where you're going? How does that even happen? But God says, go. And Abraham went. He got into the wheelbarrow without even knowing where he was going. Because many times we need to understand this. When it comes to trusting God, it's not always going to make sense. When it comes to trusting God, it's not always going to be a perfect scenario. When it comes to trusting God, sometimes you're going to have to get in the wheelbarrow without knowing what's going to go on. I love it. Andy Stanley explains it like this. He says, to understand why, submit and apply. To understand why, submit and apply. Sometimes, some of us, we get words from God. We get instructions from God. And we go, God, I don't understand why you want me to do this. I don't understand why this is happening. I don't understand why this is going on. And God says, just trust me. You're like, no. God, I need to understand. I need to make sense of it. I need to understand the logic behind it. And so we never do anything for God because sometimes it just doesn't make sense. You need to understand, sometimes you're only going to understand the why at the end of the process. You're only going to understand why God is doing what He's doing today at the end. Right now, it might not make sense, but you need to trust in God. Noah, when he was building this ark, it didn't make sense at the beginning. There was no rain. There was no storms. There was no animals coming. But he started to build the ark. He got into the wheelbarrow and said, I'm trusting God. It doesn't make sense right now, but I am going to trust in God. Abraham, going to a whole new country, doesn't understand where he's going, doesn't understand what's going to happen, doesn't understand a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year plan. There's no job security, doesn't know what's happening. But he says, God, I'm going to trust in you. To understand why, submit and apply. Sometimes what we need to do is say, God, I don't understand why, but I'm going to submit to your word. I'm going to submit to what you're saying. I'm going to submit to your ways because I know that your ways are higher than my ways. I don't understand it right now, but I'm going to trust in you. Submit to understand why, submit and apply. You need to sometimes apply the word of God, and only at the end of that, you understand why God is doing what He's doing. And maybe tonight, one of the reasons we struggle to let go of control, one of the reasons we struggle to get in the wheelbarrow and say, God, take me, is because we struggle with this one question. I want to ask you this question. And maybe when I ask you this question, you're gonna answer, for sure, it's easy, I can answer that. But this is something to ask deep in your soul. And the question goes like this. Do you really, just go to the next slide for me. Do you truly believe? Do you truly believe God has the very best for you? Do you truly believe that God has the best for you. For some of us, we go in, hey, I don't want to get in this wheelbarrow because if I get in this wheelbarrow, God might send me off to India and like it's really hot in India. They just play cricket, like they don't even play rugby. Pastor Donovan should go to India. Me, no, I'm going to stay here. I don't want to go there. If I submit to God, maybe God's going to make me do something I don't even like. Maybe if I trust in God, He's going to take away my fun in life. He's going to take away my joy. You need to understand tonight that when you get in the wheelbarrow, when you say, God, I'm just going to get in, I'm going to trust in you. You know what? God has the very best for you. He created you. He knows what's best for you. And if you trust in Him, He has the best for your life. You can trust in Him. He's not out to take away your joy. He's not out to take away your fun. He's not going to do something that you don't want to do. He's not going to go, okay, I know you're not good or you may be a bit shy. He's not going to say, okay, now suddenly I want you to speak in front of 10,000 people. Just go, speak, whatever. No. God will use the gifts, the calling, the ability that He has placed on your life because He has the best for you. And He has made you and created you. And He has the best for you. Or maybe some of us here tonight, we're saying, hey, listen, Donovan, I got in the wheelbarrow. I trusted other people. I trusted people in my life. I gave over. I said, I trust someone. And you know what? That person dropped me. That person hurt me. That person stabbed me in the back. You know what? I'm never trusting anyone again. And so we say, hey, listen, I know I should trust God, but these people hurt me, and so I'm not letting anyone else hurt me like that again. And so what we do is we create a wall around ourselves and we say, hey, I'm never going to let anyone have the power to hurt me like that person hurt me. But you know what the truth of the matter is? Yes, people will hurt you and that sucks and I'm so sorry. But you know what is that when you get in the wheelbarrow with God, God is the only person you can really trust. God is the person who no matter what, He will never leave you. He will never drop you. He has you. He holds you in the palm of His hand. And no matter what happens, He's never letting go of you. He has you. He's not letting go. He's not going to drop you. You can trust in Him. Trust in Him. Proverbs 3 verse 5 is one of my favorite scriptures. It says this: trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding. It's saying, hey, you need to get in the wheelbarrow with God and you need to trust that He has you, that He will hold you and He will never let you go. And stop trying to take control, give up control and say, God, I give this to you. Have you ever driven with someone who's still learning how to drive? And you're a driver and you give the person the wheel? And you know when they drive in and there's a street that you usually turn there, but they're not turning or they turn in too sharp and everything within your body just wants to be like, give me that steering wheel, turn this thing. Because you want to take back control. And you know, many times we say to God, God, I want to give you control. But the next day we say, God, I want to take it back. Trust God with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. And seek His will in all you do. And He will show you which path to take. He will show you. When you get into the wheelbarrow with God, He will take you where you need to go. He will take you places you never thought you would have gone. He will take you where you never thought you could make it. God will take you places you never thought you would ever go. He would open doors for you you never thought you would ever have. That's because you give up your own way, you give up your own control, and you say, God, I give it up, and I say, you take control. God will do crazy, amazing things in your life if you will start to say, God, I surrender to you. I want to end off tonight. I just want us to end off with, we're going to play a song on the screens. And while we do it, I just want you to ask us one question. What are the things in your life right now that you can give to God? What are the things that you're still holding on to? What are the things that you're saying, God, I don't want to put this in the wheelbarrow. I don't want to give you control of this. What are the things you need to give to God right now? I want you to turn your attention to the screen as we just watch this song.
God is so good. Skies spin their dance within your breath, and time runs its race within your hand. My mind runs wild to comprehend, but no mind on earth could understand. Come on, if you know it, sing it. Your ways are higher, your thoughts are wilder. Love came like madness, poured out in blood-washed romance. And it makes no sense, but this is grace. And I know you're with me in this place. Here, now. All I know is I know that you are here now. Still my heart, let your voice be all I hear now. Spirit, breathe like the wind, come have your way. 'Cause I know you're in this place. Faith makes a fool of what makes sense, but grace found my heart where logic ends. When justice called for all my debt, I love this. The friend of sinners came instead. Come on. Your ways are higher, your thoughts are wilder. Love came like madness, poured out in blood-washed romance. And it makes no sense, but this is grace. And I know you're with me in this place. Come on. Here, now. All I know is I know that you are here now. Still my heart, let your voice be all I hear now. Spirit, breathe like the wind, come have your way. 'Cause I know that you are here now. Heart and soul, heart, let your voice be all I hear now. So fix my eyes on the things that I can't see now. Spirit, breathe, let the wind come out your way. Oh, come on, because I know that you are here now. Still my heart, let your voice be all I hear now. Fix my eyes on the things that I can't see now. Spirit, breathe like the wind, come have your way. Come on, sing, 'cause I know that you are here now. Still my heart, let your voice be all I hear now. Fix my eyes on the things that I can't see now. Jesus, Spirit, breathe like the wind, come have your way. Because I know that you are here now. Still my heart, let your voice be all I hear now. Fix my eyes on the things that I can't see now. Spirit, breathe like the wind, come have your way. 'Cause I know that you are here now. Still my heart, let your voice be all I hear. Cause I know you're in this place. Jesus. Come on, if you know he's here, why don't we lift up a mighty shout? Praise!
I think it's times when the Lord challenges us like that, that we need to just capture what God has deposited in our heart. And sometimes when we talk to someone after service, or even if we sing, we may just lose that, what God has deposited in our spirit, the challenge. And so the challenge is, it's not only for tonight, the challenge is for the next week, for the next month, for the next year. What are the things we're going to trust God in? This doesn't just end tonight, not just a tonight message. This is a lifetime principle. In Hebrews chapter 11, by faith, by faith, by faith. Read it tonight before you go to bed. Hebrews 11. And then allow the Lord to bring up in your heart, through the weeks, through the months, the areas that you need to trust Him. I mean, let Him have the last say. That's what it's all about. Let's pray. The heads are bowed in prayer. Some areas that God has touched in your life right now, challenged you. Maybe you've trusted, but your trust is disappointed, as it were. Give it to Him again. Your children, your husband, your wife, financial need, salvation, presence of God, forgiveness, a new job situation, provision. Trust Him. Affirm again your trust in God. Trust Him. Commit your way to the Lord, and He will give you success. Commit it to Him. Give it to Him. He can do a much better job than you can. We leave all these things with you, Father God, as we journey on our trust, journey in our faith, in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.